I woke up this morning. It is currently 6:30 a.m. here. And I've woken up this morning to several people who I love and adore. So thank you for sending me this. But unanimously sent me this article from Trek Central. Kurtzman set to depart. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I've known this shit for over a year. It's been widely touted and rumored throughout the industry because remember, where there's smoke, there's fire. It's very hard to sustain rumors if there's nothing to them. But this was a rumor that stayed consistent from the get-go over a year ago. So this isn't fucking news. This is shit we already knew. And this is now Paramount slowly allowing it to become public knowledge. Kurtzman is done. I have made several videos why that motherfucker needs to go. It has to, and most of my frustration is around two things with Kurtzman, and it always was across the board. Number one, financially irresponsible. No matter what CBS was telling you or Paramount Plus was telling you, you know how to become a consistent show producer and keep your show going as long as possible? Bring it under budget. You guys never did that. You spent $11 million fucking dollars on an episode. How much do you think this fucking puppet episode is going to cost this week? That wasn't made for a bag of potato chips, was it? So financially irresponsible. And the second thing was the big swings he took. Now, it's been also reported he was encouraged to take these big swings. None of them worked, really, right? Like, he was encouraged to go to subvert expectations with the audience. That's why we didn't get Legacy. Because he was encouraged to take big swings. That doesn't make him a victim or this, or he's been manipulated. He must take full responsibility. He's the fucking big boy. You take responsibility. So barring that, Kurtzman's set to depart, right? His contract's finished. We all knew this is why they tied up filming in late December, early January, because they had to be done by then to make sure the shows were complete before his contract ran out. That's run out. But there's more to the story than just Kurtzman departing. And mostly with this story is what I picked up is it's not looking fucking good for the future of Star Trek. They're not producing anymore, so everything is on a hiatus, right? There are no plans for any new Star Trek TV shows. Not now, and certainly not in the short-term future. Jane Wiseman confirmed that they'd been talking to a lot of writers to see which direction Star Trek will go next, meaning they got no fucking idea what's going to happen. Now, what I'm hearing repeatedly is the future of Star Trek as a viable franchise on television or in cinema really comes down to this new film, which is being written, but I don't believe there's been a green light for production yet. I don't think the studio signed off on any script yet. Which means if the script doesn't turn out the way they want, they're going to go back to square one. Now, anybody who's been a film fan over many years like myself, it's fairly obvious there are similar patterns that happen all the way through with these big franchises, especially in this phase. If hypothetically the film didn't work out, that moves it back to development. That means you've got to find another writer. And then if they're not happy with this script, they're probably going to find a couple of writers. And they're going to get these different scripts. And then there are going to be notes on these scripts. And then it's going to go back and forward for the next couple of years. Minimum. And I'm only talking about the film, let alone a TV show. And a TV show, you've got a lot of problems here to try to get a new TV show off the ground. Was deemed too expensive. Well, that's an easy fix. You can cut the budget and, it may not be the budget that they want, but they'll do their best to make the best damn show they can within the budget, so bring down the budget. The problem is the viewership has been declining. Now, I know we all live in a house of fucking Star Trek nerds, And you go, well, bullshit. Everyone I know is like Star Trek because that's all that's in your fucking algorithm. Zoom out, motherfuckers. It's a big world. Not everybody's into this shit. So the audience, as much as we may think it's big, because we saw some videos of fucking, Star Trek Las Vegas. Look at the 1,000. Yeah. Clearly, the numbers when it came down to the back, people are not watching it. So it's not just trying to make the show cheaper. You have to make it appeal to a new audience. And that's where because for all my criticism of Kurtzman, Starfleet Academy very much was a way of trying to bring in a new audience, let me rephrase that. Starship Academy was a way of bringing in a new audience, and it didn't work. It just really failed. Now, that doesn't mean they're right. I mean, they couldn't read the room, could they? Because they cancelled some of the best Star Trek pretty quickly without him. I mean, the treatment of Prodigy alone was despicable. Sure, it's an animated series, and some of you, I don't want to watch fucking animation. Well, you missed out on some of the greatest Star Trek stories in Prodigy, which was treated so horribly. And then, Lower Decks, which is a show, it still baffles me why that show wasn't continuing. And I would have thought as a strategy for Paramount, just to test the waters consistently, especially over this grey phase, that is the one show you could have kept going. As they try to find new writers, I don't know what the licensing agreements were or the deals that were made, how much ownership maybe Secret Hideout has, the production company. Buy them out, keep that show going. It's a smart thing to do for the franchise. And funny is funny, right? You make something funny enough, people will come. And that show had the ingredients there. So, but besides that, they tried Star Trek to bring a new audience. They don't have it. So where do you go at this point if you're developing a new Star Trek? What's the most important audience moving forward? Is it trying to find a new audience, or is it trying to keep the current audience happy? Now, statistics are statistics, and they don't lie. So I don't have that information in front of me to give you an accurate answer on that. But what I can say is it seems to be common sense for me is to keep your audience happy at this part and make the best goddamn Star Trek you can. If you do that, the word gets out. People go, oh, fuck, Star Trek's good again. Maybe I'll check it out. Just make good fucking Star Trek. So, I know I'm really just a big bell and a sign on me saying the end is nigh about this stuff, but I'm just being a fucking realist. I love me some Star Trek. I have not been happy this whole show is built around the fact that I'm just not happy with the direction of Star Trek has gone in the last 10 years. That doesn't mean I haven't enjoyed some of it. Shit, yeah, I've enjoyed some of it. But there's been a lot I haven't. And I don't scream this down because I want anything bad to happen. I've been trying to warn motherfuckers for a while. Now, when I knew about Kurtzman, what I'd heard, like I didn't know, but I'd heard that his contract was done. One thing I didn't think about, and it's only recently really kind of smacked me in the face. Early on, I thought they were just going to find a new showrunners and rebuild Star Trek. But no, Paramount was like, listen, this is a fucking dead dark. We keep pouring money into this shit and we just keep fucking losing money. So, yeah, they've taken it back all right. Stop television, do a film. And that makes me very fucking nervous because you need a JJ level event, right, to get the populace into that. And you've got to remember with Star Trek, the audience is fickle. Sure, everybody, every man, woman, child, cat, dog, fucking you name it, loved Star Trek 2009. It was a massive hit. Look what happened to Star Trek Into Darkness. Sure, it was financially successful, but it was widely rejected by most people. Therefore, you saw the outcome of that in Star Trek Beyond, where no one went and fucking saw that movie, even though it was the best one of that trilogy. So if you're going to make a new fucking movie, you got to do something different. You got to do something bold, and you got to smack the audience across the face and go, hey, we ain't done yet. The sad reality is we probably are. So the question is, how long would Star Trek go away? Honestly, I think it's got to be a decade, right? It's got to be 10 years. It's highly likely, in my opinion, we may not see any new Star Trek on television in the 2030s. That whole entire decade may get wiped out with no Star Trek, the way things are going. So what should we do? Should we cry? Should we write petitions? Which are fucking bullshit, by the way. Never do jack shit. This isn't 1968. All right? That shit worked once back then. It's not going to work again. I'm sure you can come up with a fucking example, but it definitely ain't going to work now. No. What you're going to have to do is realize there's 1,000 episodes of Star Trek available to you. There are a dozen films available, over a dozen films available to you. We're just going to have to look backward and celebrate the past before moving into the future, at least at this point. Now, mind you, corporate structures change all the time. So who knows? Ellison might fucking spit the dummy and sell Paramount again, and the new Paramount people going, what are you, fucking high? If we get Star Trek back on television, we can make money if we're smart. I don't know. But what I do know, this news was the biggest fucking no news for a long ass time. And Trek Central has to play along, right? No disrespect to those guys, but you got to play along. We're not going to report anything until it's made public. Yeah, I get it. I know you got to do that. I respect that. But it was pretty well known throughout the entire industry and most of the general public. That motherfucker was gone after this contract. But anyway, what do you think? Oh, by the way, welcome to my new home here on the Captain's Quadrant. Moved from Jason Roy Gaston channel over the Captain's Quadrant. Kind of made sense doing a lot of stuff, bitching about Star Trek. This show probably belongs on a Star Trek channel. So here I am. Of course, you're going to be able to see me every Friday night on the main show at 9 p.m. Captain's Quadrant, where we're going to have a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll be dropping my little old man yelling at Star Trek here. I'll be sharing the links, so please subscribe. Let me know what you thought. What do you think about this? This is another old man pre-coffee, pre-breakfast rant, probably. But let us know, and we'll catch you guys next time.